Welcome back. Thank you guys so much for 2,000 subs. We have an interesting one today. We found a 74-year-old furry. He probably might be the oldest furry in this game, if not in existence. I had a little conversation with him, so it's not really trolling, not really pred catching. This is more just an interesting conversation with somebody I found interesting that I wanted to share with you guys. Unfortunately, somebody in the lobby did recognize me, and I got kicked halfway through our conversation, but the following footage is what I was able to capture. Hope you guys enjoy. Yo, are you actually 74?
Indeed.
So, how has like coming across the new age technology been for you? Like, obviously you grew up as video games kind of became a thing. What's your opinion on like how far they've came in the last couple of years?
Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing. I love where technology has gone. I was just talking to Y over here about the early days of creating computer games.
So, how long have you been a furry for?
As far back as I can remember, since I was about 5 years old.
So, when would you say the first like mainstream furry thing hit like the media? Would you say it was around like the 70s with like Fritz the Cat, or do you think it was before that?
I think the press pretty much ignored Fritz the Cat. I mean, it was yes, it was an early furry character, but they just didn't like the sexual aspects of it. So,
well, I mean, it was the 70s. Everything was like kind of wild back then, no?
Well, the first thing the press really paid attention to was when we had the first furry convention.
And how was that like?
It was called Conference, with emphasis on the fur.
Were you there?
Yeah, I was there. It was actually created and run by a friend of mine, who unfortunately is no longer with us. His name was Mark, also known as Silas Sable.
Yo, I'm interviewing this 74-year-old furry.
Kind of a hero to a lot of us now.
So he was like the OG furry, is what you're saying?
Well, you might say so. But he didn't present himself as, or his character as, the original furry. What he did is he created a convention where we could all be welcome, where everyone there, regardless of what species they were, regardless of how long they had been in the fandom, whether they were a new fur or whether they'd been in there since their birth, everyone was welcome, and everyone could interact with everyone else as an equal.
So with you being a furry for like your entirety of your life, have you ever like, got in a like actual fursuit?
Oh yes. I spent several years making my fursuit. It was very elaborate. It was a griffin character. It actually looked very much like this. And in fact, when I saw this character for sale, I immediately snapped it up, and I found the author online here, and I said, "Wow, this is great. This looks just like my first fursuit." And and he asked me a few questions,
and 32-year-old man
then we both started laughing because he said I saw
wild,
your
bro.
fursuit and
dude
made this avatar
cyborg and is 32.
So how much do you think you've spent on like building fursuits over the years?
I don't even dare ask myself that question. I would guess probably north of $20,000, because I've made a lot of fursuits for other people as well, for friends and people who wanted to buy them from me.
So what would you say the biggest change in the furry community is since like, the beginning has been? Like, you've seen the complete and utter uprising in the furry community. What would you say, like, your opinion on the state of it today is?
I think the most significant thing is that furries are now generally accepted in society.
I wouldn't say that.
That you can go anywhere you want, that you and I can go anywhere we want in VrChat without fear of being harassed because, we're animal people. In the early days, there were a lot of people. There were a lot of stuck-up Christians and a lot of right-wing people who just thought that they would insult us as much as they could, and that they hated anyone who represented themselves as an animal, and that has disappeared.
So the religious community gave you guys a lot of pushback.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm not even going to quote some of the things they called us. It was mean. It was inconsiderate. It was just the worst language they could possibly come up with. And now we are generally accepted. That's the biggest change. That doesn't mean that any right-wing people are going to come in here and get furry avatars, but it means they're not going to push back against those of us who do.
And would you say the hypersexualized side of the furry community gives the furry community a bad look?
It used to.
Wait,
It
does
used
this
to,
give you a
yes.
bad look?
Not at all.
Hello?
Hey, son.
Okay.
Why are you touching me?
Hey. No, it's just that
Very-
I just
very
really like
cool.
this character a lot.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Minerva Mink was the first really sexualized character, and it
Actually,
really,
I got to
it
disagree
really.
with you there. But actually,
Well,
the very
okay.
first one was
there
was
were
Cleo the cat.
I love pretty much inside dogs.
there were always there were always earlier ones, yes, but Minerva was the first really popular one.
Huh. I
And
always thought it was Phoebe or Cleo for the longest time.
no. I mean, it's my opinion. None of this is graven
Okay.
in stone,
All right, understandable. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's okay. I just wanted to offer my opinion. That's all.
All right. Well, you are
Um,
right about that, though.
Damn, we got a furry
I
scholar
mean,
over here. We got the well of knowledge
Yeah,
of Gooner
basically,
furry information.
Well, I'm really happy that today many people just choose furry avatars because they think they're cool. They think they're fun, and
Hmm.
and there are a lot of furry avatars in anime, for instance. And yeah, we all enjoy them the way they're supposed to be. They're basically cartoon characters. They're just made for fun. But yeah, there was an early sexual element to it, and of course, if you look at any fandom, you'll find that same thing in every fandom. It wasn't just furries.
Mm,
It's crept into every kind of fan base,
that is
but
true.
but it didn't cause any damage, or at least it didn't cause any lasting damage to the furry fandom, because we stuck to what we like, anthropomorphic animals,
Oh, so
plain
what
and simple.
made the? So here's a question I've been wondering, because I know the furry fandom's got a really bad reputation. Not trying, put anybody down or say, oh yeah, all furries like that. I'm just saying what I heard. What caused the whole entire furry fandom to get this bad reputation, get this toxic, opinion from the public?
Personally, I don't think the furry fandom has gotten a bad reputation, but I don't know, maybe that's just me. I think that if you talk to certain people, they might tell you that they have a bad reputation, but I would question those people. I would question
I'm about to hit
their
him with the pedo
outlook on
question.
society.
There's a lot of pedos in the furry community.
I wouldn't believe them, basically.
Dude, you gotta join this one.
I will after I hit him with this, because this
I
is
think
gonna probably get
There are
me kicked.
always people around who are gonna hate
This dude's
something,
snitching on me. It's so funny.
Right.
and you can just ignore them.
Yeah.
They don't amount to anything.
Oh my
Right,
gosh,
because-
this
They
is so
haven't
funny.
changed anything.
Right, because
So-
I
Here,
actually came across
Mm.
some, some toxic
This is so
furries on
funny.
here,
I
I'm
gotta
not
show
gonna
you
lie.
this. Hold on.
And I also came
Mm.
across some good ones.
Give me
too.
just a
It's like
second.
people as
I'm gonna-
people,
Hit him with this to finish the
It's
video.
Not so much it's the
Alright.
community as a whole is the problem. It's certain people amongst themselves causing problems for the community.
Okay.
The community as a whole strive to actually make people better. I
Hmm.
mean, it's like a giant family. Any family is going to have its problems.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So I do have a question for
By
you
the way,
guys.
I love your wolf.
So
Hmm?
what I do online is I run a sting operation that catches files a lot of the time on VrChats, Second Life, a lot of different games.
Okay.
One thing that I've run across specifically in the furry community is a disproportionate amount of, PDFs. People who tend to not know how to interact with people of the younger ages. Do you think there's a reason that the furry community attracts those type of people? Do you think it's maybe the cartoon animals They think they might appeal to or something along those lines.
Well, I
actually
think
have a comment too on that one.
I think there are a lot of adults that look at characters like ours, and they think for some reason that these have to be children's
Lane.
animated characters, that because they're anthropomorphic animals, that they have to be children's characters. And
Cody?
this is also
Yes. Hello.
this also permeates anime, animation from Japan.
Who?
A lot of people look at Japanese animation and they think, oh, that has to be for kids.
Timlo.
And most of it isn't for kids, and it never was for kids.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I can testify to that because actually I got in trouble a couple of times because I rented when I was a kid. I did rented some anime movies I didn't know that was for adults. So when I got those, I was like, oh, this is for kids because wow, this got some this looks like a magical girl like Sailor Moon. But then it turned out to be wow, this is not anything like Sailor Moon.
I think that whole misunderstanding comes from just a bad assumption.
Damn, they kicked me from the instance. That's wild. They kicked me from the instance. That's
Kicked you
insane.
from the instance?
Yeah, I knew it
Dude,
would get me
no.
kicked. I literally said this is gonna get me kicked.
Bro, let me send you to this
And
one.
I was
It is
having
so
a
funny.
genuine conversation with these people.